Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan with her haircut so cute on another Piney podcast. Yes, Joan. Thank you for that update. Today, 274 cases continues to go down. Phil continues to tout his strange strategy of slowly unclenching his fist and unchoking the local economy. He says stage 3 may start in a matter of weeks instead of a matter of months. You actually weren't going to start stage 3 for months? That goes into September, Phil. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. He's just catching up to the part of the science, which was weeks and weeks ago, that sunlight and hot temperatures kill the virus. Mr. Science, Mr. I'm basing everything on the science, just announced that today. Today. Weeks after it's been announced. Weeks. Perhaps, if he had watched some of the Trump press conferences, he would have learned that fact much earlier, as I did. Perhaps, if CNN and some of the other major networks hadn't not carried the Trump address, everybody would have known it. But they're so busy trying to win an election, nothing else matters. And speaking of politics, here's the big event in South Jersey. A kid who works at Wawa had a Black Lives Matter face mask on. He was asked to remove it. He refused and he quit. Now Wawa is having some sort of moment where they're rethinking things. Here's my take on that. Companies should be apolitical. They should not get involved in politics. Doesn't matter what the politics are. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad politics. They shouldn't get involved because the only way it's fair to their employees and customers is if all the politics are in, right? It's just like when they allow religious stuff, right? When they have like a Christmas thing and someone gets upset and then they have to have like every religion. It's the same thing with politics. If you're going to allow Black Lives Matter merchandise or whatever you call it on one of your employees, then you have to allow all your employees, regardless of their political affiliations and beliefs, to do that too, to make it fair. Otherwise, you're being unfair. And the moment you're being unfair, there are people who will take positions. They'll see that and they'll go, oh, so you're with those people. You're with that group. You're with this political ideology. And you're alienating customers. These companies should just make one announcement, and it should be this. Our company does not take a political stance. The end, period. Individuals may, but that's outside of work. He is free to wear that mask wherever he wants, but not at work. And there are plenty of people who would agree with that statement. Doesn't matter that he happens to really like BLM. All that matters is he's a representative of the company while he's at work. And the company wants to be apolitical so they can service all customers. Yes, even customers who believe horrible, horrible things. Because you're allowed to believe horrible, horrible things in America. And you're allowed to sell people stuff. And if you believe, no, none of those people should ever be able to buy anything again and should be driven out into the fringes of society, well, don't be surprised when they explode and try to kill everybody because you're basically trying to kill them. Stop getting involved in politics, companies. Just do your thing. Now, if you have a company that's somehow involved in politics, that's a little different. But let's say you make candles. If you make candles, there's no reason for you to be involved in politics. Candles smell nice, you burn them. That has nothing to do with politics. Not everything is about politics. So there has to be a place where people can go and just be like, there's no politics here. And those places are becoming fewer and fewer as this fight ramps up. And it seems like a fight because everything that gets political is a fight. And if you've seen my BLM video, you'll know that the BLM website connects directly to Act Blue, which is a charity organization connected to the DNC. And in the fine print, they talk about campaign finance laws. Until BLM separates itself from the DNC, one must assume that some, if not all of their money is being funneled right into the Democratic Party. And that's not fair to the people who donate to BLM. People who want to donate to BLM think they are donating to an organization that is helping Black lives, that is helping people who either got shot by the cops or been abused by the cops, maybe helping them with their court case or lawyers' costs. I mean, it gets very expensive to fight these sorts of things. That apparently is not the case. I don't know. But it seems very suspicious that they have this very close connection to the Democratic Party and that the money is going into Act Blue, not into an account that says BLM. So, Black Lives Matter protesters, do you think this will help or hurt the movement when your followers discover that it's just a front for the Democratic Party? I think that will very much hurt the movement. And I point to the Tea Party movement. On the right side of politics, there was the Tea Party movement. And the Tea Party movement started with the Ron Paul guys, the libertarians within the Republican Party who wanted to reform the tax laws and abolish the IRS. And it was quickly co-opted by the Republicans. And there was a window of time when the Tea Party was still a separate thing. And it kind of wasn't. It was slowly being absorbed. I think that is probably what's happening to BLM. And if it's not, then I think it's in the interest of the BLM leadership to come out and say, no, that's not the case. I also think it's in the interest of the Democratic Party to say the same thing. Well, we support Black Lives Matter, but we are separate entities. We are not taking their money. Because if it comes out down the road that the $1.7 billion collected by BLM was funneled to the Democratic Party, I think people are going to be very, very upset. And you got to wonder how they're going to vote after they hear that potential fact. Just a thought.